Deep in the Suffolk countryside, where ancient woods meet military steel, there's a story that even skeptics struggle to explain. On a bitter December night in 1980, when the Cold War still cast its shadow across Britain, something pierced the darkness above RAF Woodbridge. The base housed American forces then, nuclear weapons, they say, though no one would confirm it. But what happened there had nothing to do with Soviet threats or military exercises. It began with lights, strange, unexplainable lights dancing between the trees. 2 U.S. Air Force patrolmen saw them first. The lights moved with purpose, too low for aircraft, too controlled for meteors. The men trained to guard some of America's deadliest weapons felt their hair stand on end as they approached. The air crackled with static electricity. Their radios squealed with interference. What they found in that forest clearing defied explanation. A craft, they said, roughly triangular, its surface like polished obsidian. It hovered silently, steam rising where it met the frozen ground. Sergeant Jim Penniston did what few would dare. He touched it. The surface felt warm despite the winter chill, smooth as glass but somehow alive. And then came the numbers, endless streams of binary code that burned themselves into his mind. But this was just the beginning. 2 nights later, Deputy Base Commander Charles Halt led his own investigation. His audio recorder captured it all, the clicks of radiation detectors spinning off the scale, the nervous murmurs of hardened military men, and his own voice describing something extraordinary. A glowing red orb, he said, dancing through the trees. It split into pieces, each moving with impossible precision. Then came the beam, a pencil-thin shaft of light from the sky, striking the ground at their feet. The evidence they left behind tells its own story. Landing marks pressed into the frozen ground, forming a perfect triangle. Radiation levels far above normal. Trees scorched on one side, their branches broken as if something had pushed through them. And in Penniston's notebook, pages of ones and zeros, a binary message he couldn't explain. Years later, when someone finally decoded those numbers, they found coordinates, not random points, but ancient sites across the globe, places of profound historical significance. Was it a message, a map, or something we still don't have the context to understand? The men who experienced these events never wavered from their stories. Jim Penniston and Charles Halt saw their careers overshadowed by those 3 nights, but they never backed down. What would make decorated military officers risk their reputations? What could shake their worldview so profoundly? Today, Rendlesham Forest stands quiet. Tourist signs mark the UFO trail, and visitors snap photos where the craft allegedly landed. But at night, when the mist rolls in and the woods grow dark, you can still feel it. That sense of something extraordinary, something that slipped through a crack in our ordinary world and left us questioning everything we thought we knew. This was the Rendlesham Forest Incident, Britain's Roswell, a moment when highly trained military personnel encountered something that challenged their understanding of reality. A case that remains, after all these years, unexplained. The truth may lie in still classified files, or in that mysterious binary code, or somewhere in the depths of those ancient woods. But one thing is certain. On those cold December nights in 1980, something happened in Rendlesham Forest. Something that continues to challenge our assumptions about what's possible and what might be watching from above.